It seems like everyone on social media and on YouTube tells you to meditate, but no one seems to actually know what it is. Nobody seems to explain how to actually do it. Some people say that the process of meditation is clearing the mind of thoughts, and others say that it's just a particular way of breathing or sitting. Meditation is a lot of different things, and the results of it depend on which of the many methods of meditation that you're doing. The way I like to think about meditation is exercising your mind. It's sort of like going to the gym just for your brain. Meditation for me is a block of time that I take out of my day to sort of work on my mind and exercise it to do certain things, to train it. So there are a lot of different methods of meditation, and if you really want to start from scratch and learn how to meditate, I recommend that you get this app called Medito. You might have heard of it from Hamza's videos when he talks about meditation. It's a free app, and they have a lot of different courses and also some daily guided meditations. It's a great way to get started and learn different methods and meditation techniques. So the first meditation technique that I recommend is really popular. It's mindfulness meditation. And when people talk about meditation, a lot of times this is what they're referring to. So mindfulness meditation is the technique where you focus on one constant thing for an extended period of time. The most common thing being the breath. And that's more of an internal thing. You can focus on internal sensations like the sensation of breathing, where you focus on wherever it feels more natural. When you focus on your breath, you more focus on your belly or your chest or your lungs or your nose or your mouth, whatever. Another internal thing you can focus on is just the sensations of sitting. So maybe you're focusing on your feet touching the ground or the way your hands are feeling interlocked or however they are. Mindfulness meditation is just the practice of focusing on one thing. There's also external things you can focus on, like visuals or different sounds that appear. And the idea is whenever your focus drifts away from the present moment, be that one specific consistent thing, like the breath or the sounds, realize that your attention has drifted away without judgment, and then you slowly guide your focus back to that one thing. One common way to do this is with breath work. So you can control the breath in a way, and you can do this by counting the breaths. You can count the inhales and the exhales. You could count 1, 2, 3, 4 for each one. There's a lot of different breath work techniques, like there's 4-7-8 breathing, where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold it for 7 seconds, and exhale for 8 seconds. I personally really like that one for breath work. But there's also more intense breath work techniques that kind of give you a high sensation or even hallucinations, like Wim Hof breathing methods, holotropic breathing. And that kind of strays away from the mindfulness meditation and more towards breathing exercises. A happy medium is maybe you're focusing on your breath, but you don't have to count each second of your breath exactly. You can kind of just follow the natural flow of your breath without trying to control it, and I find that's a good happy medium for the mindfulness technique. I definitely see merit in counting the breath, and whatever you choose to do, it really doesn't matter as long as you're focusing on one thing. And once you're bringing your attention back to that one thing after losing focus, that is where the growth really happens. That's sort of like doing one rep for your mind. When you lose focus and you bring your attention back, that is basically like one rep of an exercise, and you're building that muscle of mindfulness. It's a skill. So the second meditation technique is going to be affirmation meditation. So this is kind of like the old school, very positive, self-help kind of meditation, where basically you start out by doing a normal mindfulness technique, like focusing on your breath for 2 to 3 minutes, but then eventually you introduce even a word or a phrase or sentence that is a belief or a thought that you want to reinforce in your brain. And basically what you're going to want to do is in your head or out loud, whatever feels more natural, you want to repeat that. What a lot of guided affirmation meditation videos and apps do is they don't really explain that you shouldn't just say the phrases. You should actually kind of hypnotize yourself in a way and convince yourself that they are true and that you believe them. The best way to do this is to pick a phrase or word, any kind of belief that you actually somewhat believe that you just want to reinforce. Say you've been swimming your whole life and you want to win at the next swimming meet. Instead of saying, I'm as good as Michael Phelps, what you want to do is say, I am a strong swimmer, or I am an incredible swimmer. And if you've been swimming your whole life, that's actually true. You just might not feel it and really have that locked down in your head. The things you say in your mind, your positive self-talk, actually has a pretty profound effect on what you really believe and your actions. Really common question people ask about meditating is how long they should do it. And I recommend that you start off small, because it can be kind of overwhelming to really challenge yourself to sit down, especially in the age of modern technology and there's constant distractions everywhere. It can be really difficult to sit down. For some of you, maybe even 1 minute is really hard. And that's perfectly okay, because we all start somewhere. So I recommend what you do is you start off small, even like 3 to 5 minutes or even 1 minute. And the most important part of it is that you do it every single day. Consistency really can make or break your meditation practice, because if you meditate for an hour once every couple weeks, that's not going to be as effective than even if you meditate for 5 minutes every single day for those 2 weeks. Because the consistency is what creates that lasting effect on how you actually feel throughout your day. So I recommend you start off small. You aim for between 1 and 5 minutes. And then if you eventually start working your way up every couple of days, maybe you increase the time by 1 or 2 minutes. And what you want to do is reach about, I'd say a very optimal time for meditation is about 20 minutes, because it's a good balance between a long meditation and not taking too much time out of your day. And I find that a lot of people, especially in my age group, probably have 20 minutes that they could have been like playing video games or watching Netflix, and it's not that crazy to just take 20 minutes out of your day. But I recommend you start off small and work your way up. I found that the most lasting impact that I've had from meditation has been from the longer ones as opposed to the 5 to 10 minute range. So working your way up to a longer duration is probably a good goal to have. The Medito app actually has a full course on open awareness meditation. Open awareness meditation, I would say, is more for the advanced meditator. A difficult practice, and that's because it involves opening up your awareness and focusing on sort of the entire present moment at once. You can start off with your eyes closed and eventually work up to having your eyes open, which is more distracting, which is why it's difficult. This is a pretty life-changing practice, because throughout most of our day, our eyes are open, and we can be a lot more mindful if we were taking in the entire present moment as one scene, instead of hyper-fixating on one thing. If you consistently keep this meditation practice, even if it's 30 seconds of meditation per day, you eventually will work your way up and watch your life change for the better. And on that note, I hope you guys have a great day.